This is Ron Klopfenstein, and you're in the hot seat on a meeting in Monday. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. My guests today are Dwayne Presley. He is the owner of Utica Teens in Action, and Michelle McCarrick, who is the program manager and instructor for the Young Entrepreneurs Academy at MVCC. So, Dwayne, people first got to know you on Facebook a few months ago. Well, it seems like a million years ago, but like during that all these snowstorms, you're out there with your shovels and the snow and the ice. And what was Utica Teens in Action up to back in the winter time?
To be honest, we were just motivated to just help and just get work done, you know.
Sidewalks and driveways.
Yeah, a lot of my friends wanted to help out, so I just gave them an opportunity.
So, but you do more than shoveling at Utica Teens in Action, right? So now that it's spring, what is your business kind of transitioning to now?
So we're transitioning to spring cleanup, you know, we're trying to get into mowing lawns, stuff like that.
So how did this business come about, Utica Teens in Action?
So to be honest, I'm walking to school one day, I hear an announcement.
What's your school?
Oh yeah, Proctor
yeah.
High School.
11th grade?
Yeah, 11th grade. I heard the announcements and I just, you know, took that chance. I heard entrepreneurs class, so I'm like, why not? I'm not really doing anything. I'll take it.
So is that something that interests you, like making money, being an entrepreneur in business? And
yeah, just staying busy, being busy. Yeah, that's something I just, you know, catch my eye.
Yeah. So is this, had you had a job before this? Did you ever have a job before this? Or is this kind of like your first job as your own business here?
I'm surprised to say I've been working since I was 14, just doing heavy labor.
Good for you.
You know?
Yeah. Like, where did you start? What was your first job? Like, did you work for family members? You know, when I was 14, I worked on a farm. I lived in the country, so like I threw hay, which is like kind of like it's heavy labor, 50-pound bales. So it's a good experience. So how did that come about for you?
So I was at JCCC. You know where that's at over there?
Yep.
Yeah, I was just doing a lot of just beans and all types of things, just helping out. It was a good summer.
Now, there's a lot of kids, I would think. There's some people who would say, like, well, why bother with that? Why work hard? Why not just relax? And, you know, what would you say to them? Why do you work?
I really work because it's like being a teenager. It's just so much distractions. You know, you don't really got to worry about bills and stuff. I'm just, you know, I'm not an average teenager. I just find it interesting.
So you're not average. I've heard you describe yourself as a hustler. That's really great. You're very motivated. You're very enthusiastic.
Yeah, for sure.
What gives you those qualities to like go out and do stuff and take charge? And what makes you like that? I love those qualities. That's kind of how I am too. That's like what I aspire to too. So I want to learn from you. What do you say to yourself in the morning when you get up?
I'm gonna be for real. I would say anything in the morning.
You say, I want to go back to bed.
Yeah, you can say that.
Well, what gets you going? What gets you pumped? You're out there making money and doing your work, and
I'll say my environment, my friends, family, everything.
Yeah.
Just everything I've seen, experienced.
Now, so you heard this announcement at school, this Young Entrepreneurs Program, and you went to a meeting, right? So what did you find? You went to your first meeting for this group. You know, what did you learn about it when you first went there? What made you think, you know what? Yeah, this is the right thing for me.
To be honest, you know, Michelle, we were just brainstorming and she was telling us about how the class was and all that, and I was like, yeah, this is a class for me. Actually, I thought the class was like we were competing with each other and all that until we really got into it. That's when I really knew what it was about and what it was for.
What is it about? Like, to you, what is it? What did it do for you? You know, obviously it helped you with this business. You created business. You're a success now. But what did it do for you in terms of like your knowledge, your skills, your approach to life? Did it help you be more professional?
Yeah, it helped me be more professional and with work, you know, understand things, just getting things done.
And I would imagine there's times, it must be a little bit complicated at times because some of your employees are also your friends. So is it a challenge? And how do you deal with that?
It's a challenge a little bit, but it's not, you know, sometimes just because they're a friend, you know, they get a little extra pay, all that other stuff. But
so you pick good people to work with you.
Yeah, and reliable too. I can't forget about that. You know, you can't have a friend on the job that's not really doing the job, you know.
What other qualities do your friends have to work for you successfully? You have to be reliable.
I'll say reliable, you know, respectful, you know.
Yep.
Just in case
Yep.
I'm not there or anything.
Right,
Handling things right.
Yep.
That's about it.
And honest too, I would imagine is really important as a
True.
business because you have to take track of money and stuff and stuff. So Michelle, why don't I bring you into the conversation here? So these are things that I imagine that you teach the kids who join your program.
Yeah.
What is the Young Entrepreneurs Academy at NBCC?
So it's actually a national program that was founded in Rochester at RIT, where I went to college, which is really nice. So we've actually had it here in Utica for 12 years. We've had about 180 students go through the program. They're in middle and high school from all over the region. So we've had kids as far as like Westmoreland, Little Falls, Rome, and then of course a lot of kids right here in Utica from all the schools.
Oh, so it's kids from all the schools, not just
Yeah.
from Utica.
It's all over the place. So we
Uh-huh.
had a young lady from Remsen who was phenomenal this year, and I've had kids from literally all over the place. 6th grade through 12th grade. So it's like 11 years old up to 18 years old. It's a little like a one-room schoolhouse, but
Do they stay in it throughout those years, like multiple years?
It's
Can you
1 year
say?
long. So
Oh, it's a year long.
we recruit in the summer and then they start in October, and we just graduated last week, right, Dwayne?
Yeah,
Just
we-
had our little graduation, which is
Yeah.
pretty
Oh,
cool.
congratulations.
Yeah, it was great.
So what did you
nervous.
do for the graduation? Like, do you get like, so like your business is officially yours, right?
Mhm.
What did you have to do to make it into a business? Like, do you have like a certificate or doing business as? Do you have to file something or
DBA.
how does that work?
So
Like somebody wants a business, what do they do first?
So if you're young, you know, just really get into doing work. If you want to start somewhere, do work, and then move on to a DBA. If you're like 16,
Yeah,
18 and older, you can get an LLC.
Yeah,
So-
that's one of the biggest challenges because they are young. So we've got kids from 11 years old. So Dwayne is 16. He's got a little bit until he gets 18 and can put everything
Yeah.
in his name.
Mhm.
So we have guest speakers come in. We have field trips. We have mentors, graphic designers who build their brand identity for them.
Oh, cool.
There's a lot of support and a lot of really good resources that the students get by taking the program.
Yeah.
So a lawyer comes in and just speaks to all of the different ways that businesses can be set up and the risks and responsibilities that are, saved
Right.
or not saved when you're a DBA, and you can get that quickly at the county clerk's office for pretty inexpensive and start there. But then what an LLC means, especially like Dwayne, when you've got folks that are working for you and you're on other people's property, it's really important. So Dwayne, I don't want to speak for you, but you learned a lot about the importance of insurance, right, my friend?
Oh, yeah, for
You-
sure.
What are some of the considerations that you have to make as the owner of your business, since you are going onto people's property, like their driveways, and you're doing work that is a physical thing where there's a potential for injury, like ice and stuff. So, what do you have to think about with insurance?
Insurance. Good question.
Like, you have to think about,
No
like,
idea.
I imagine, like, with the LLC, part of that is, like, to protect yourself from, like, the kids have to
it's
think
all
about
the things.
it. So.
He's got to protect the
Yeah.
business as a whole, himself, his workers, the homeowners, everyone. So we did have an insurance speaker come in, and we've
Great.
connected Dwayne with him to really talk that through. So
Mhm.
there's, as the insurance speaker says, Stephen Turnbull always comes in from Turnbull Insurance. So
Oh, so you would
he's
know,
wonderful.
Yeah.
And everything is different. So really, it's up
Yeah.
to Dwayne to meet with him at this point for the next step in his business to say, this is the work that I do.
Yeah.
This is the geographic region. This is how I'm getting there.
Uh-huh.
I've spent.
How do you get there, Dwayne? How do you get
How
to
do
your
you get there,
places?
Dwayne?
Good, really, really good question. I actually have some of my family members. My cousin takes me here and there. My mom takes me when she can.
Yeah. So do you drive yet?
I can drive, yeah, but not right now. I'm not driving at the moment.
So part of this, like, you have to think about, like, so if you are doing driveways or like sidewalks, is it mostly driveways or sidewalks? Probably both.
Combo.
Yeah, both.
So you have like how long would it take you on average to do a combination of driveway sidewalk a job?
Average like 30 minutes.
So 30 minutes, and like how many, say, like if it's a non-school day and it was maybe a snow day or something, or a heavy day, a heavy work day, how many jobs would you do like within a day? How many half-hour jobs about?
Ooh, that's a good one. The first weekend.
I'll say like 10.
So
I think
that's a
about that.
lot. So that means that like for about at least 5 or 6 hours, you got to get here or there, all different places. So do you have like a family member drives you to all those places, or do you have to like make arrangements? Like you'll take me to this one, and she'll take me to this one, and
So when it was winter going on, the reason why I got so many houses done was because of Michelle. She the one that really helped me out going house to house.
oh,
For
so
me.
that's really nice of her.
Well,
She's
that first
yeah.
post, right, that you saw,
I bet it went haywire, you know?
I live in South Utica. I work right down the street at ICANN, and for
Yeah.
some reason I had to go home that day, which I normally don't. And I'm going home, and Dwayne and his 2 cousins, right?
Yeah,
at
our
that
2
time?
cousins. The reason why she ran into us because we were just out shoveling. You know?
Yeah.
I pulled
Oh,
over and
okay.
hopped out. I was like, guys, smile, like you're doing it, right? And I just wanted to put it out for
Oh, so
like
you
my
took
neighbors.
the picture. Oh, cool.
I
Oh,
jumped
wow.
out and took
Yeah.
a picture, but I more wanted like my neighborhood to be like, this is what these kids are doing out
Right,
there, and
right.
you know, throw them some money. So I
Yeah.
literally threw up a thing on my personal page,
Yeah.
and it started blowing up. And I'm like, Dwayne, you got to come to my office tonight. We put Facebook on his phone. We talked through it. There was a
Right.
woman in South Utica who was away on vacation who
Mhm.
hired him to shovel her driveway
Yeah.
and the car. Remember that one?
Yeah, I remember.
We just went by that the other day. And I have the picture of Dwayne and his cousins getting their first official job through Facebook, sitting in my office on a
Oh,
Friday
neat.
night. And then
Oh.
Saturday we were bopping around for 6 hours, and Sunday was another like 3 or 4 hours. And you know it was awesome to see these kids figuring out, like, Dwayne is timely. He is on it. He's got his Facebook in the palm of his hand, and he is answering every question.
Yeah.
The next day he lined it up, and we talked about the importance of making sure you're not like jumping way up to North Utica and then back to Cornhill
Oh,
and
right,
then over
right.
to East Utica.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so just the logistics, and then the logistics of money as well,
Right.
and figuring it out. And we were literally timing you. I'm like, all right, go ahead. I'm going to go get you guys some gloves. I'll be back. We'll time your thing. And just to watch him build the business in the truck
That's fantastic.
was so cool. It was
Yeah.
really cool.
So how do you plan like where to like your scheduling? Because you don't want to like you want to minimize your time on the road. So, but then again, like you probably have people that like contact you throughout the day. So how do you plan that? Like how do you organize that?
So to be honest, I think ahead. So I just be, in my calculator, running up the times. I don't really, I would say, like,
And how do people get in touch with you? Like through phone, email? I know I'm reaching out through Facebook. Is that like what do people? Do you have messages like say it snowed a lot of snow? Like are you someone who like has like 1,000 texts and voicemails and like burying you alive with people getting in touch?
I did get buried alive. I was just going through them, one at a time, just doing one house at a time.
I was gonna say because like it happens to me with this show. Like people like send me a message on Facebook to do the show, then I forget. And I thought they texted me and I can't find it. Then they emailed me.
Yeah.
So
True.
how do you
That is a
cope
good
with all
trait of
that?
entrepreneurship, Ron. Like,
It's
you
a
gotta be
difficult thing,
organized.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
writing it down. Writing it down. Is,
What's your secret? Because I need some help.
just buy a little notebook. I'll say 500 pages. Just get
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
Just get to it, Ron.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, it's pretty
Dwayne
much
has
it.
I have a whole thing in my phone of Dwayneisms.
Oh,
Just
I love
from,
that.
he's always getting cars, Michelle, life in today, or like he's got really good motivational things too.
You ever like you're very chill, which has got to be good with a business because of the stress of it.
It is a little stress,
I mean, yeah, because people like want what they want. I'm sure you have some customers that are kind of demanding too.
Well, I learned from a professional.
What
Gotta,
did you learn? Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta work with your customers.
Yep.
You just gotta work with them.
Yeah. I had 15 years of experience in retail, so I got a lot of experience with that kind of stuff. But it's really good experience too to like work with the public because you deal with like every different kind of personality out there and people's like deal with people's crap, which is good to deal with the practice
True.
of that.
Yeah.
I bet you learned a lot from that, right?
Nah, for sure, I did.
Yeah.
I did. I learned a lot from this class too. Teach all of us a lot.
What are some of the things that you learned that like surprised you? Like you would never thought that this was a part of a business, but it's like, oh well, I guess I gotta do that too.
Showing up every day, just being there, just consistency.
Yep.
That's all there really is to it.
Yeah.
What would you?
He does it too. Like, I
Yeah.
kid you not. I'll wake up, there'll be a text from Dwayne. He's like, "You busy today?" I'm like, "Dwayne, it's 10 o'clock on a Tuesday. Like, get to school." No,
I know,
I'm
you should be in
working.
school.
But I appreciate it. He is like, he hustles.
Yeah,
He is organized. I watch him walk up and just like knock on the door and talk to the homeowner and get the instructions and look at them, shake their hand, look them in the eyes, smile. Dwayne's got a smile that lights up the whole city.
That helps a lot.
Go
in this
on
field.
Utica Teens in Action and search through the photos and see what I'm talking about. But he's personable, organized, and motivated, and you couldn't package that
Yeah.
up any better for a young entrepreneur.
Right. But in young entrepreneurs, you do kind of package that up. Like you teach people how to get that across, right?
Yeah.
So in the next segment, I want to ask you about like how you establish the brand, how you teach people how to make their own brand, how the listeners out there can maybe make their brand, to promote themselves and stuff. So we are talking to Dwayne Presley. He's the owner of Utica Teens in Action, and Michelle McCarrick. She's a program manager and instructor for the Young Entrepreneurs Academy at MVCC. If you miss any of this show or want to hear it again, the video and podcast will be online on Wednesday at uticaphoenix.net/Medium Monday, along with all our past episodes. I'm Ron Klopfenstein, and you're in the hot seat on the Medium Monday. I'll have more after the break. Ron Klopfenstein, and you're in the hot seat on the Medium Monday. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. On the next Hot Seat Media Monday, we'll be talking to Eric Fretzall. He's one of the owners of the Fitness Mill, so we're going to have like a kind of like a men's show here next week on the Hot Seat Media Monday. My guests today are Dwayne Presley. He's the owner of Utica Teens in Action, and Michelle McCarrick, who is a program manager and an instructor for the Young Entrepreneurs Academy, which is where Utica Teens in Action came from. And before the break, we were talking a little bit about branding and about how to establish a business. You have to establish an identity for the business, which includes a logo and a name. And so what is Teens in Action all about? And what did you have to think about, Dwayne, when you were establishing your business and getting it out there? What does branding mean to you?
So branding, it could be marketing.
Yeah.
I'm very good at marketing too, so
Yeah.
the reason why I got into marketing and making my videos look the way they are, it all started with CapCut, just making edits, a little here and there, TikTok edits.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just started, editing more and more, and then I got good at it, so
Mm-hmm.
I'll just, any picture I make, I just make it look nice. I can make it look nice.
So any picture you take, so what do you take pictures of to promote your business? First of all, what would you take a picture of?
Before and after.
Okay, and then you have the pictures in your phone. So CapCut, for people that don't know, it's a program that's on your phone that does video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what does CapCut do?
So basically, it makes a video and an edit, add the sound,
Mhm.
stop motion and all that. Makes a video not, you know how video is regular, just makes,
Yeah.
side effects and all that.
Right. It's kind of like some people might use Canva. Like I use Canva. There's video editing for that, or like Clipchamp or Adobe. So you take your pictures, your before and after, and then you you put music with them. You
Mhm.
put them together. You make them into a video.
Yeah, you can make them into a video,
Uh-huh.
a little picture.
Yep. So once you've done that, you use CapCut to do that and add the music and stuff. What do you do with them? Where do you put them, or post them?
Oh, on TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah, just TikTok, Instagram.
So
That's what I used to do.
right. So like in your TikTok post and your Instagram post, what do you put for text?
Well, I just put, like life,
Mhm.
hashtag, quotes, just regular like. Yeah,
So-
a lot of quotes.
Oh, right. So like you use that kind of like express your personal philosophy, right? So how do you take that the next level and turn that into sales or to customers?
I just put like, how I will be announcing spring cleanup,
Yep.
ETC,
Yep.
with my phone number in it.
Yep.
And then from there, I just get clients flying.
So do you think that the content that you make that's like non-commercial, do you think that helps to like build your audience so that when you have a commercial, it's like they're paying attention because you're not just like a spammer?
Oh yeah, for sure. That help. Why wouldn't they want to see it? You know, what a before. You know, why wouldn't they?
Exactly. Yeah.
His social media, if I might jump in. So
Please do.
When you did your pitch for the Entrepreneur Academy, so in the class they literally write a business plan,
Yep.
and then their second deliverables they do a 5-minute pitch to real investors for real startup money.
Oh,
So Dwayne
cool.
did that in March, and then we just graduated. So he had a number in there from when he started on that January Friday night until March. It was about 2 months, right?
Mhm.
And he had reached 208,000 people on his Facebook page.
Wow.
Which
Oh
is
my gosh.
great
You have got
numbers.
to post about being on this show. 208,000 people.
Get me some numbers.
Oh my
bring me the
gosh.
numbers.
Yes.
But you know what else is great about
I'm
him?
impressed,
He's got
bud.
when you,
Jeez.
another part of branding is how you sound, right? And
It
when
is.
you read Dwayne's post on Utica Teens in Action,
Yep.
you can hear Dwayne in it.
You hear action too, I think, which
Yep.
is like something I
You were
think is
putting the
cool.
quotes for a little while too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Life quotes.
Right. So who is Dwayne then? So like, who are you, and how does it express who you are?
I'm just a 16-year-old kid living in a small town, just trying to turn his dreams into reality.
And you're doing that. You are turning your dreams into
I
realities.
am. That's crazy.
So
Came a
what
long
are your
way.
dreams? What are your big dreams? Like, what do you want to do in your life?
As of now, I'm just trying to be an entrepreneur. I am an entrepreneur,
Yep.
but I just plan on taking this somewhere. This could really be somewhere.
Oh, it could be.
Yeah, I want it to be actually, with everything, like small loan, pressure washing, everything.
Yep. Oh, that's a good thing too. Pressure washing.
Yeah, for sure.
So now tell me, when you talk to someone, like when you made your pitch, right? What did you say? What is your pitch?
My pitch, it was really like, it was nerve-wracking, but
I'll
He did
go back.
excellent. He did excellent.
I'm sure that you did, but I'm sure inside, like you felt kind of like, yeah.
my anxiety was on 1,000.
So what did you do about that? Your anxiety's 1,000, but you still want to do this, and like, I think we're all in situations in life where like we feel like that, like we know this is our time to step up, but inside, like you're like dying inside,
Yeah.
So
What do I always say about that nervousness, Dwayne? What did I tell you guys in class? Nervousness is just what?
It's just
Awesomeness.
It is just
Waiting to
awesome.
get out.
It
Waiting
is
to get
Way to get out. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and the
I like
main
that.
reason what helped me is you only live once. I'm not gonna be doing this forever, so it's one-time chance.
I like that
5
philosophy.
minutes out of your life. How
Yeah.
much?
5
So
minutes.
you were the only one in the class that got their full funding asked.
Oh yeah, my full startup investment.
Good for you.
And what else did you win?
Oh yeah, I won the annual award, 1-year annual award to Utica Chambers.
Wow! Congratulations! Oh my gosh! So what did you say to get that money? What did you prove? What did you show? What facts and figures? Did
The
you
numbers
come up
really helped a lot. Like
I'll
the
bet
numbers
they
helped a
did.
lot, and I just I really got to get out there. Not a lot of kids really sold things and did
with?
things.
You were very you're known, which helps, I'm
exactly,
sure.
and I
So
really pushed my brand
yeah.
out there.
So with the money that you received, what are you gonna do?
Oh, I already invested into a leaf blower and all the other things.
Okay, so you used it for equipment.
Yeah, for sure.
So you bought a leaf blower,
Cleaning supplies,
cleaning supplies.
hand gloves, and things I needed for the.
Do you have your own mower, or do you use the people's their own that they have, or?
Right now, I'm not really mowing lawns because
Oh, okay.
the weather is bipolar and it's just.
Oh, right. But like you will soon, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
for
So
sure,
like
yeah, I
when
plan
you
on
do,
getting
like do you have that yourself, or do you use theirs?
Most
Or?
likely, yeah, I have it myself.
Oh, okay. So you got to get all that stuff too.
Yeah,
Then.
that's a big
Yeah.
thing to scale. We talked about that. And another thing I
Yeah.
love about Dwayne is he's got big dreams, big ideas. The texts
Right.
fly. I'm like, why aren't you in bed? Why, he's always
Oh,
thinking
right.
about his business, which is great. But he's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to start mowing grasses. I'm like, Dwayne, you don't have a car to get a mower there. He's like, oh, yeah, you're right.
That's right.
So I think one thing, like, there's, again, been 180 kids come through this class.
Yeah.
And there's been nobody like Dwayne. And I truly think that this is something that he will easily, if he wants to, make into a career.
What
and be
unique
able to do
qualities does he have
I
that you
show
think
up.
can make it?
He shows up.
Anytime I see a client text my phone, as soon as not even 1 second goes by, I just answer.
Yeah.
I just respond.
So reliability is really a
Yeah,
big
it is
thing.
key too. You don't want to just hit a business and they don't hit you till like a week later.
Oh, right, of course not. Yeah. So, like, with those qualities, like, it's like you want to pursue, like, a career business? Like, is that where you want to go for them?
Yeah.
So tell me about the arrows in your logo, like your logo design. What did you think about when you designed it? And what is the way it is now? Like, what does it express about your business?
Yeah, it's just showing us that we stay going, we keep going.
That's what those arrows mean,
Yeah,
like
just
in
keep
the
going.
lettering and stuff.
Just keep going and going. Don't let anything stop you.
Did you pick the red and black as a Proctor, or you just like red and black?
I was gonna
I
ask
like
you that.
red and
There's
black.
like, yeah.
I like red and black. That's my color. That's
So
all
now
I
it's
need.
like the school colors, but it happens to be. So.
Yeah, it happens, you know.
Well, that's kind of good. The hometown pride kind of thing, you know. So it's good to do that.
I love how the name came out too. I know, and you know what I want to say on here, on air live, so people hear it. Dwayne was thinking about his business. He's like, I don't know, Michelle, I shouldn't do snow shoveling because everybody says this winter there's not going to be a lot of
Yeah.
snow.
Oh, wow.
I reminded him all winter. I was like, what's up now, Dwayne? What's up now?
I still be thinking
Snowing
like,
again.
I thought it wasn't gonna be anything, and the only reason why I really started this business model was because I didn't see no competition, no younger people doing it like
Right, people don't do that much nowadays. You did good market, you cornered it. You know?
exactly. And nowadays, I
Yeah.
just see old guys, no offense, but just
Right,
driving
right.
around.
Oh
No
man.
offense. Yeah.
You know,
get
I
that all
would have
the-
taken
get that all the
offense if
time
you had
being
not
teachers.
said that, but you know.
Yeah.
But I think with mowing lawns too, because like a lot of people, there's a lot of like need for that too, you know.
It is.
But like, so what are you doing right now? Like the snow is gone.
Oh, right now it's been spring cleanups, with leaf jobs, and we just been.
So you're mostly talking like what you have now is mostly like you need rakes and like that kind of
Yeah.
thing. So are you ready? What are you gonna do when it comes like lawn mowing season? In terms of like, how do you get a lawnmower to places and stuff? What's your plan?
To be honest, my plan right now, that was a good question.
I mean, the thing is too, like in a city like the size of Utica, I imagine like there's a lot of like handyman jobs like all the time beyond the mowing lawns too. Like so, even if that doesn't work out, like I'm sure there's other stuff.
Oh yeah, we plan on doing home cleanouts. Well, we are.
Okay.
Yeah, home cleanouts, basement cleanouts, attic cleanouts,
So
house move-outs.
what do you have to do when you clean out a house?
So when you clean out, bring the garbage bags, gloves, and all that. Just make sure you get things cleaned down thoroughly.
Yep.
And I'm good at cleaning. I've been cleaning since I'll say like 5-6 years old.
Oh, really? Great. So like, do you have a lot of responsibilities around the house?
Yeah, for sure. Dishes, sink, all that, floors.
And I'll bet you can
Bathroom.
even see, like, at your age now, why that was beneficial to you to be responsible, right?
Yeah, it was beneficial. Yeah, it really made me turn that little skill that's not, into like something that could make me money.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you have siblings?
Yeah, I got 3 siblings.
Older or younger?
1 older and 2 younger.
2 younger. So, like, what are they into? Are they interested in your business and what you're doing here?
Yeah, they're very inspired, but I can see they're not really into what I'm into. So.
Yeah, well, different people like different things. You
Mhm.
know. What was your life like that weekend? Like when the first post came out, like everybody was sharing, and it was like I saw all over Facebook, and it was like it must have been kind of exciting for you.
It was
Overwhelming, I'm sure, a little bit. Like
It
I
was.
can't shovel all this stuff.
One day I don't be on Facebook, so I kept getting.
Oh, you weren't even on
I
Facebook.
wasn't on Facebook. One day
Oh,
I
wow.
woke up, I look at my Facebook.
Well, you started off with a bang.
I just kept scrolling and scrolling. There's houses and houses. I'm like, that really
Oh,
work?
bad.
Oh yeah, I'm about to see if I can get a ride around. I just asked for Michelle help. She wasn't too busy.
Yeah.
I got the help. That's how it went, just
Got
like
some
that.
pizza, got some help. But another nice thing, I put that photo up, and one of your cousins was in from out of town for the holidays around that time, I remember. And, people started Facebooking me, and they're like, I noticed that one of them doesn't have gloves and the other one's wearing sneakers. I'm going to the store to buy boots. Where are you?
Oh, that is so nice.
I remember like at
Wow,
Walgreens
wow.
parking lot and
Oh,
catch up
yeah.
with Jasenia from
That's so
Giving's
cool.
Closet,
Oh my
hooked us
gosh.
up
Wow,
with some
wow.
boots. And I got some waterproof gloves. Like, there's things
That's so
needed.
great.
But even though they didn't have that stuff, they were out doing it anyway. And I
Yeah,
remember one of the
yeah.
shovels was kind of like, a cheaper shovel were having some hard time with it. So
You know,
everybody's
we
like,
grew
what do
up-
they need? I got you, which was
We grew up
great.
working what we have, so we just work what we have.
You're so lucky to have hard-working friends too. You know, to have friends that like you can do this with.
Mhm.
You know, that's great. And it must feel good to like know that the community has so much interest and you have so much support for what you're doing out there. You know,
Right,
that
yeah.
must feel good too. So,
Yeah, it feels good, but it do, but it don't. I just feel I could be doing more.
well, I mean, you're
Always
doing a
fun.
lot. You know, it's like for 11th grade.
Yeah.
What is like? What do you see this going like in the next year? So you'll be a senior in the fall, still at Proctor. In the next year, like when you're still around here, like what do you think you're gonna do with this?
Man.
Are you like
I-
looking to hire more employees or?
To be honest, I plan on I don't really got any plans.
So kind of keep it on the same
Like I
course.
always said,
You know,
only time could tell. So I really,
what you might find too is like you may find things that like people will have. There may be like a demand for things that like you didn't even know. Like, oh, I could do that too. Like a
I
business
told
could do
him that,
too.
are you familiar with TaskRabbit? They have it in bigger cities.
Oh
and,
yes.
I
right.
had this IKEA dresser forever, and man, that thing sat
Stuff
for
like
months. I was
that,
like, please
yeah.
just put things together, you know?
Oh
like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, assemblies.
That took
Oh my
like
gosh,
3
if you could
hours. I would
assemble
have paid
stuff,
you
I
to do
bet
that.
you would get a lot of jobs doing that.
Yeah, I did have assemblies.
Because some people like I'm just not good at that kind of stuff. Some people just aren't, you know. It's like, and it's good to have somebody that can, yeah. Now, have you ever had a job that's like just too big? Like I was thinking with the clean house, there's probably some houses like where like you think, oh, I just cannot, you know, or like even like with the excessive like heavy snow, like in ice.
I had a huge spring cleanup, and I had a huge winter cleanup, and it was, we got through it. I don't know how, but 4 hours, just 2 men, it was a lot.
So it wasn't too big, but you thought it might have been, but you kept going anyway. So what about it? Was just like so much work or so much stuff? Or
it was just
like,
leaves, a lot,
oh yeah,
just
yeah.
a lot, a little wet.
What do you do with leaves, like in the city? Like I live in the country, so like if we don't ever rake leaves or anything like that out there.
There's
Like
there.
yeah, we don't think about stuff like that. But like if I ever did, or like if I ever raked the lawn, I guess I would just put it like off into the weeds. But like
Yeah.
in the city, you can't do that.
Yeah, sometimes people have bins, plastic bags.
Oh,
I
that's where you
provide the
bake,
plastic
right?
bags, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so you bake it up too.
Yeah.
So what does it cost? Like someone wants their driveway done or their sidewalk done. Do you like go by how big or wide or like?
Nah,
It's
not
just a
really.
step price.
I just charge 30.
Oh,
You kn-
30. Like,
You know what something interesting was, as you started doing jobs, I think I watched you learn in real time some tactics, because you would get somebody over Facebook and they would say like, oh, I have a short driveway and a sidewalk. And then you would get there and be like, oh, I think, remember that one time? You're like, I think I messed up. That ain't a short driveway. I'm like, that absolutely is a short driveway. Those other ones are long driveways. So you had them start sending you pictures or asking more
That's
questions.
a good idea. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
one you guys had a hard
Right.
time with, remember, it was like a house for sale, and there was snow upon snow upon snow sitting there, and it was icy. And I remember sitting there, I'm like, what is taking these boys so long? There were 3 of them, and I got out in my Timberlands with heels on, right? I'm like, let me help. I'm like, oh man, this is
And it's just,
icy.
like,
You
solidified
right.
underneath. Yeah. That must happen. So I bet there's a lot of other like practical tips that you picked up along the way. I'll ask you about that after the break though. So my guests today are Dwayne Presley. He's the owner of Utica Teens in Action, and Michelle McCarrick, who's a program manager and instructor for the Young Entrepreneurs Academy at MVCC. I'm Ron Klofferson, and you're in the hot seat on a Media Monday. More after the break.
Bank of Utica is a full-service.
I'm Klofferson, and you're in the hot seat on a Media Monday. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. My guests today are Dwayne Presley, he's the owner of Utica Teens in Action, and Michelle McCarrick, who's the program manager and instructor for the Young Entrepreneurs Academy at MVCC. Today also is May 5th, which is Cinco de Mayo, and it's also my sister Heidi Nesved's birthday. So we always celebrate as Cinco de Heidi in my family, but this year she's 50, so it's like an extra. So I don't know what we're going to
I
call
am
this
right
this year.
behind her. It's my half
You-
birthday today.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
so
49 and a half
49
today.
and a half. Well, she's 50, so it's like Cinco de Century or
Yeah.
Cinco de half century. So Heidi Nesfer's going to be so mad because I told everybody she's 50 years old, but it happens to all of us.
Happy
eventually,
birthday,
so
girlfriend. I
Happy
love that.
birthday, you know. It ain't easy. 50. That was a really tough one for me. You know.
50? Oh, I can't
It
wait. I'm
was.
as old as hip hop. Stop.
Well, yeah,
Right, Jay-Z? Hey.
yeah, a little bit younger actually. He's 52. I'm older than hip hop. You're a bit younger, but right in the middle there. So, 50. So Dwayne, what were we talking about? Oh, so Dwayne. So I was asking you like during the break. You know, one of the things that I talk about a lot on this show, and I talk to like with students too. It's like, you know, there's a lot of cynicism in the world. Like people, like if you go out and try to do stuff, like it's easy to make fun of people that are doing stuff. Like people like you, people like me, and to think, I'm not going to try, or, you know, what do you say to people to turn that attitude around? To tell your friends, your peers, like, hey, just go and do it, give it a try. You know.
One thing about my peers is they're very, very arrogant, and they don't like listening to kids and people unless they're like around their age, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and kids, I mean, teenagers nowadays, they just think about being like everyone.
Like how? Like how is everyone? I mean, what like in what way?
So, like for instance, say you about to go, I'll say like me do a job, go work.
Yeah.
But say if it was for free, see, people just think, you know, just because it's for free, they aren't getting anything out of it. They can't, you know, they don't want to do it.
Right.
They always want to do something only because they're going to get something out of it.
And why is it good to sometimes do stuff not for like monetary gain, but just to get like experience? Why is it good to just sometimes not always be trying to get stuff out of experiences?
You only live once, and why not? We don't really got responsibilities, you know. We could do, you know, we don't really got to worry about anything.
Yeah. So what would you say, like, say to the students that I have, 8th graders, like, you know, to inspire them, to motivate them, to take their life seriously, their education seriously, and their futures seriously? What would you say to them?
Worry about your future now. You might as well worry about it now, so you don't have to suffer later thinking about what you're going to do with your life once you graduate. Because all kids do is just, you know, wake up, go to school, troll, be around, class clown, da-da-da-da. It's crazy.
So if someday the 8th graders or 9th graders that are hearing this now want to work for you, what kinds of skills and qualities should they be developing in order to do that?
Reliable, not, you know, can't say I don't have enough time for it, because, you know, we got enough time for anything. We don't really got too much to worry about.
Yeah.
And just, you know, being there, I'll say, answering to.
Yeah. So Michelle, it must be nice kind of throughout the, like, this year or course to, like, see kids develop these things he's talking about, like these traits.
It's
You know?
really cool. That's one of the things, like, there's a national curriculum that we follow, right? So yes, we have to touch bases on the basics, like their product description and really
Yeah.
building it out, their marketing, their financials. They have to make sure that they're going to make money. But in the very beginning, just from my background too, having a graphic design firm for 20 years, I talk to them about what the lifestyle is going to feel like.
And what is it
And
going to feel like if you're a business owner?
There's
What is your
excuses.
lifestyle?
It's you. It starts and ends with you.
Pressure.
It's you against your
Yeah,
and your brain
that,
every
yeah.
single day.
Pressure.
How do you deal with that?
Consistency, you know, just believing in yourself and not giving up.
Yeah.
Just work, just go and show up.
I think asking for help too
Yeah,
is
asking for
important.
help,
And
discipline.
you definitely do that. I think you have to have other peers who are like-minded. You know, I have that in my lifestyle, and you'll find those people in your life as you grow, Dwayne. The people you can just kind of sit down and vent and be like, you know what, it was a hard week. It was a hard day.
You know,
you need those people to lift you up.
yeah, I wish I have few people like that, but my peers, you see, just like you said, just sit down and have a talk. They don't want to sit down and have a talk. They think you're talking about nonsense, but the whole time you're talking about something that's gonna help their life in the future.
Yeah.
Well, I bet your peers are kind of impressed with the money that you're making, and probably with the attention, with the kind of the fame through the internet. They must got their attention, right?
Yeah, it's always money gonna always catch someone's attention, but they see all the glory, the shine, you know, smile shining and all that.
Yeah.
They don't see the hard work, you know, blood, sweat, tears put behind it.
Yeah,
Well, that's kind of what this show is for, to tell people, the public, like what it is, like how much work it really is. And, you know, I think what you find is like, you talk about cynicism and like that mindset among your peers, really every age group. I was going to say middle-aged men are just as bad, you know, so it's like, But it's hard. Like people like us, we do have to break through, and we do have to be positive. We have to show people that you only live once, so live
Sure.
your life. You know. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
And it's also Shaniqua Lewis, who was in the very first class of Yay 12 years ago. I've known her since she was 11. She's 25. She was one of my cheerleaders with the Bulldogs back in the day. She came to speak at graduation, and one of the things she always says when I have her come back and speak to kids is that it is not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Yeah. Right.
And that resonates so well with the kids.
True.
I'll
That's
bet.
how life is too. Life is like a chapter too. You choose what you want to write and put in it.
I like that. How has this experience of having this business, how has that affected or impacted like your education? Like, do you find you a better student because of this, or more serious?
Ooh, that's
or
a good question.
do you see like your life as like education is an important thing to get where you want to go in life now? Like, do you really get it now, or?
It really makes me see that you don't really need school to complete your life, to live your life, to have access to do such things, it's not...
Right. What is school for then? Like what do you need?
Me personally, I feel like school is just to wake you up, make you do and go somewhere every day and just learn how to do that and just, wake up on a certain time, show up every day.
And that is part of it. It's like you do learn like the skill of like being at a certain time, getting
Routine.
up every day, and routine and stuff. But I bet like when you pitched your business to that, when you had that pitch, like it mattered that you were a student.
True.
Like it's important, I think, in terms of like getting financing and support. Down the road, people will look at like your education to know that like you know how to handle the money and all that kind of stuff. And there's probably like so many things that they have to learn.
Yeah,
that you
and
never
school
think
teach you
about.
about the basics.
How about public speaking?
Public speaking.
What are your public speaking tips? Most people are afraid of that, and it can be hard. I think, like, even doing a show, it can be stressful at times. And as a teacher, like, it's very, public speaking all day long, That's one of people's biggest fears. And, like, you seem like someone who'd be really good at that. What are your tips?
I got like a few tips. One of them is, just like I said, you only live once, so why not just talk? You just
I
talk.
love that attitude.
You're talking to humans that's got the same blood.
Exactly.
Like,
Right.
same-
Yes.
I don't get it, but
I
it's
love
just a
that.
fear you gotta break. You don't want to, regret not going and doing a speak, like this.
Absolutely.
What about
Yes.
practicing, especially with
Yes.
your investor panel? Do you practice a lot?
Yeah, I practice a lot. Just practicing too.
Yeah,
You
the kids have to write their speech cards, so
Yeah.
everything they say during those 5 minutes has to be written down. So
I
we
like
tell them all
that.
the time, like if you're on the bus going to school in the morning, if you're,
Right.
waiting for your parents to cook dinner or something, run through it. And you did a great job, Dwayne.
Yeah, I stood up till like 11 with my grandmother, just running through it, making sure.
She must be so proud of you.
Yeah, she was for sure.
Yeah.
Learning, I wasn't
yeah.
even in an entrepreneur's class too.
Wow.
A lot of my families.
Because you got to be ready, like, say, like, for the elevator pitch. Like, you're in the elevator with someone and, like, they have $1 million and, like, they want to spend money in a program. Be ready. Oh, hey, I got
Where
this
do you
great
ride
thing,
elevators with people like that?
I was
John?
going to say, like, they always used to say
Where
that.
they at?
Do they still say that in business classes, like your elevator pitch, to be
Yeah,
ready in
absolutely. We
case,
do that in Yay. And,
Because all these business, all these millionaires out there with the
Yeah.
money, like, oh, that sounds great. Here you go.
yeah, you gotta
Like,
get
it
your
really
point across
happens,
in just like 30 seconds. Yeah, we practice that. I have them, stand up all the time once they start formulating their businesses, because
Yeah.
the majority of the students come into class with no business idea.
Oh, right,
And
right.
some of them have an existing business. There
Mhm.
is a landscaper, Snyder Landscaping. He took the class when he was 15 at Notre Dame, and he still mows my grass. He's
Really?
fantastic.
From
He's
Westmoreland?
graduated school. He lived in South Utica, New Hartford area, but he went to Notre
Okay,
Dame.
because I think I've heard of that. So, yeah,
he's great.
Yeah.
And he, I just totally lost my train of thought. Ron, what were we talking
Well, you
about?
you must have like quite a few interesting things that have come out of
Yes.
this.
Oh, the kids
yeah.
who have businesses coming in. So this year we had a girl making goat milk soap up in Remsen, and she already had her
neat.
business going.
Oh my gosh.
So both her, the landscaper, some other folks. We had a girl
Wow.
customizing Nike Air Force Ones, and she's at Cornell right now. And I just Zoomed with her the other day, and she made one for her professor and put a really cool like little video up. So the kids, like, they're all over the board, and if they
Yeah,
don't have
yeah.
a business, we tap into, like, do a lot of work to uncover what their passion is,
Right,
or
right.
secure like a problem that they're seeing that they can solve in the
Well,
world.
that's a good idea.
There's been such cool businesses along the
yeah,
way. So
yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
Dwayne,
that
you
sounds
kind of
great.
had an idea of something, right? You just wanted to bring. What I liked in the very beginning is that you said you want to help other people come up to, like you want to have something that you can build for yourself, but also bring other people along with you. And it was kind of like bringing the work to the kids. It's very hard for teenagers in Utica to get jobs where they need regular transportation or to get out into the suburbs or whatnot. But you're bringing work to them, which is cool.
You're right.
That's really great.
Yeah, and what I was about to say, I just had a brain fart.
Well, she's talking about like how you're making it, you're extending the opportunities to your peers and to your friends, and they can get, you know.
No, I was about to say something. Just a lot
Yeah,
of
it
running through my
I
head.
was asking about media too. Like, what do you like from media? This is Media One Day show. Like, what do you do on your phone? Like, do you like TikTok? Do you stream TV shows? Do you watch YouTube videos? What do you like?
All my TikTok followers, you know. I just be.
How many followers have you got?
I used to have
TikTok.
1,500, but now I got like 200. I just be making.
You
life
have
quotes.
got to give me a shout out on TikTok.
Where can they
But
find you
especially
on
on Facebook
TikTok?
though, because what do you say? How many do you say follow you on Facebook?
I was just looking
1,200.
at that.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, it went up a lot. It went up a lot.
So media, what do you like? Do you go to movies? Do you listen to radio? Probably not, but you listen to Spotify. Do you watch TV?
Sometimes a podcast, you know, about
That's
how the world works. And
Yeah, right.
I would say TikTok here and there. Like I said, I be posting quotes till this day.
So
Just
who do
like
you follow on TikTok? And like, what do you look for when you look for an account to follow? Like, what kind of content do you like to consume?
Yeah, I just be consuming content, rich 16-year-old, just stuff like that.
Mhm.
Future entrepreneurs.
Yep.
What's it like to be an entrepreneur?
Yep. So things with that kind of theme of like success and money and wealth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So mostly TikTok, or do you watch movies about that or TV shows?
Yeah, sometimes I watch movies. Paid in Full, if y'all don't know about it, I know now. Yeah, you already know.
What's
Yeah.
Paid in Full? No, I just
It's like,
know
so
that.
I'm gonna just put it in short. It's
Yeah.
two brothers, you
Yeah.
know, that got backdoored by some guy that they thought that was their brother, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And it's just all over money and greed.
Oh yeah.
And people just think, money is everything, but
Yeah.
so it's so crazy how much people cherish and what people would do just for a piece of paper. Just for a piece of paper, but
Right.
That's the economy, that's the government, that's life.
So how do you keep that in perspective? Because you obviously you're someone who wants to be successful in terms of the money that you make, but it sounds like you also keep it in perspective pretty well. And probably your grandmother probably helps you keep things in perspective like that.
Yeah,
so
she helps a lot. She
how
made,
do you? How does she help? What does
Yes.
your grandmother teach you?
so she teaches me a lot about respect, a lot about how things work and how that would go that way just because that person,
Yeah.
the way that person moves. Just
What's your grandmother's name?
her name is Lolita.
Oh,
Lolita.
she sounds great.
Yeah, she's a nice woman.
So,
I feel like
She's really great. Funny, I met her years ago,
Yeah?
and then met Dwayne, and
I
then
feel
he's
like
like,
we
my
wouldn't-
grandma's coming to the investor panel. I'm like, I know you.
we wouldn't. I
That's
feel like
Utica.
we wouldn't
Yeah,
have a
or-
good. We wouldn't have a good, childhood if it wasn't for the grandmas,
oh yeah.
You
yeah.
know, the grandmas,
Yeah,
the
grandmas.
cookouts,
Oh, I
grandpas
know.
too.
I
Nah,
know.
you gotta love them.
Yeah. So other than TikTok, what do you watch, or do you do Instagram or other social media, or do you like
To be
watch
honest,
videos?
I
Or?
don't really only be on TikTok. Other than that, I be on my game. I don't really be on my phone too much. The only time I'm on my phone is when I'm, texting and calling. And
Yeah.
Customers.
So you
my
probably
clients.
use your phone a lot for promotion, which is like kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
like what I do. Like I constantly promote the show like almost every day. It's non-stop.
Yeah, I'm about to make a post later on about I'll say 20 houses.
Okay.
20 houses free of charge.
Okay, so you're gonna make a post. What are you gonna how are you gonna put the post together? What pictures are you gonna use, and how are you gonna decide? And what's gonna be your text, and how will you write it?
You see all those questions. I just do it. I don't think about it.
Well, that's your process, then. So you just do it. So that's
Yeah, I just
so
do
so
it.
it just flows. So yeah.
Yeah, it's
Now,
just-
do you use Grammarly or something after the fact? Did you do it to check it out before you hit?
It's pure
post?
pure organic.
Oh, dude, you gotta
straight
get
from the
Grammarly
mind.
though. I know most teachers will say Grammarly's bad, but Grammarly's a good thing. It's free. Like it checks your stuff.
What is that?
It's an AI thing that checks your text before you send it out. So like if you need a comma or a semicolon, they'll let you know. So you just
Oh
fix it.
yeah. It's an app.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
I'll
like
get that.
it's an app and a program. Like you can download it free and like you use it. So yeah. Now don't let it write for you because that's cheating. But once you do write stuff,
Well, then you lose
You
your
can-
brand voice a little bit too,
yeah,
right?
But once you've done it, like you can check, and like there's times like even me, like a semicolon or a comma, you think I'm not good with a comma, so Grammarly helps.
I'm not
So
good with a
you-
comma. Can I make you a
Right.
t-shirt?
I
that
put
says
so
that?
many in it, you know. It's like more than I need. And it's like Grammarly's like, you sure about that? And I'm like, no, you're absolutely right. You know?
Just say no to Oxford commas.
Right,
That's
right.
all.
So like, are you gonna do? When do you decide like sales or promotions or how do you
Ooh,
decide?
what are we
that?
ordering, Dwayne?
Yeah.
What
Oh,
we just
hey,
talked
you do some promotion.
Oh yeah, we about to I'm about to promote. I'm about to get like 4 lawn signs.
Hey.
Hopefully I can get some door hangers.
That's cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it is. It really
Yeah.
is. That's how I plan on. Oh yeah, and I thought of a good idea today.
What is the
Some
idea?
stickers. Some stickers.
I like that.
Not too
Yeah.
Crazy.
And stickers are kind of inexpensive too. Like you can get a Canva or something. It's a place you
I just
can
got a
have
graphic designer. in his
I was
back
gonna say, you
pocket,
probably
too,
have
yeah.
stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, a great shout out to PJ Green for supporting the Entrepreneur Academy.
Oh,
And
that's
you know, I
really
reached
good.
out to Rick. I'm
Yeah.
like, just give me a price today, and he's helping Dwayne out. So it's,
Yeah.
they're again big supporters. Every time Dwayne's got like this great circle around him now, you know, and it comes it stems from Facebook. It also stems from him doing things like this.
Right.
And he's
right.
just he's approachable. He's magnetic. You know, he's got.
Oh yeah.
He spoke to the South Utica Neighborhood Association, and Danielle Padula was there, who's on the school board, so now
Right,
she's
right.
looking out for him. Our good friend Tiffany Boykin's looking out for him in the school systems.
Oh, that's really
Like
awesome.
you're surrounded by. I think it's Jeffrey Canada from the Harlem Children's Zone says we're gonna make a safety net so tight that no child falls through.
That's
So
fantastic.
you are building your army, my friend. You're building your
Yeah.
cheerleaders for you, and we got you.
One
Yeah.
day at a time, brick by brick.
Right, great. So now, if someone is interested in having some work done by the Utica Teens in Action, what's the best way to get in touch with you and to find out your prices or get an appointment or estimate quote?
Oh, you can find us at Facebook.
I would say Facebook's probably the best way. That's like
Yeah.
what I always see, you know, Facebook. So Utica Teens in Action. I'm gonna have like links to all your stuff in the show notes. That'll be on Wednesday. uticaphoenix.net/media Monday. So before we go, anything more you want to say?
I'll leave him with a Dwayneism.
Don't complain about the money you didn't get for the hard work you didn't put in. That's about it.
I like that one. Today we've been talking to Dwayne Presley. He's the owner of Utica Teens in Action, and Michelle McCarrick, who's a program manager and instructor for the Young Entrepreneurs Academy at MVCC. That's where Utica Teens in Action came out of. Our sound engineer is Jonathan Brooks, DJ J Easy. He's up next with the Easy Ride Home. Jim Hale records the shows for YouTube and podcasts. Nabil Khan is our entertainment correspondent. I'm Ron Klopfenstein. I'll be back next week with another Hot Seat Media Monday.
Hey.